Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another video on Course Curate. Today we're going to be talking about GPTs. It's going to be reviewing it and comparing it with normal ChatGPT. GPTs are a new technological advancement from OpenAI. They are very interesting and they basically allow private users to go through and create their own GPTs that can do custom actions, custom APIs, custom knowledge base, custom instructions, all sorts of stuff. It's pretty crazy. It's basically what I'm going to be going over today, just reviewing them. And so yeah, let's just hop right in. Alright guys, so to start by explaining what GPTs are. GPTs are basically a way to make custom chat GPTs where you can input, things like custom instructions. So you can basically tell the, language model on the back end how you want it to respond to questions, what you want it to say, how you want it to engage with the user, etc. Just custom instructions for responses. You can do stuff like profile pictures, custom names, when the GPT store comes out, that will also be, very applicable to that. You can also do things like create custom actions where basically the ChatGPT can go ahead and, based on what the user says, it can decide if it wants to go ahead and access some sort of, outside API, which could also be really useful for custom use cases where maybe you integrate with a custom CRM like HubSpot, etc., to do, custom actions within a business. It'd be, very, very, very useful. Key features basically are these custom instructions and these custom actions, as they're really what gives this a lot of power, especially the custom actions, for you agency owners watching, that is pretty huge. GPTs are also really easy to make as you don't need to code at all. It's all just a nice little, GUI interface, no coding, just the GUI, you just type everything in. You can even actually get like ChatGPT to automatically make one for you, which is also pretty cool. Alright guys, so since this is a comparison video at the end of the day, I'm also just gonna quickly go over ChatGPT, as I'm sure you guys probably already know about it. So basically, ChatGPT has the functionality to access and answer, user requests based on documents. It can code, it can do things like that. It can also generate images now using Dolly. So basically, the functionality it has, right? Those are the recent updates. It also now has more recent knowledge as well, so it isn't back to, I think, before it was 2021. It's more updated now, which is really great. And yeah, so I mean, ChatGPT has that functionality, but it's really GPT that lets you kind of fine tune that, go in, add custom instructions, add custom capabilities that ChatGPT really doesn't have, right? ChatGPT is basically like the building blocks. It's the smallest, unit. It's like the base. But on that, you want to add your instructions. On that, you want to add your knowledge base. On that, you want to add your custom actions and really create something very powerful. Alright guys, now we're gonna get into the comparison part of this video. So, to begin, basically the differences between ChatGPT and GPTs is that ChatGPT is a lot more broad, while GPTs are a lot more specific, right? So to highlight some of the functionalities GPTs has over the general ChatGPT, is that GPTs basically allow for very personalized conversations for like business transactions, right? So this is more for client-facing transactions where the client might ask specific questions that have to be pulled from the knowledge base, or kind of like on a website, where support questions are being asked, general help is being given, or even something like sales is being done. It's more of the, range where GPTs is best for, right? It's not best for those broad general cases. Some of the advantages and use cases of GPTs are kind of for restaurants, small size, medium sized businesses that deal a lot with clients and client interactions. GPTs can be a great way, with custom actions, with custom instructions to go ahead and use that to interface with clients. And on the other hand, you got ChatGPT, which is more broad, right? So, this will be used more on enterprise scales where you basically use the API to fine tune models based on specific data where the model can then go ahead and output insights and output real-time analytics of that data in terms of graphs and things like that. That's more where you would use ChatGPT, GPT-4, fine-tuning, just kind of that broad model is more for kind of enterprise use cases, right? I don't think custom GPTs make sense at all for enterprises. Enterprise needs more of that fine tuning, that API access, that integration into their existing systems, which is more suited for those broader models that you can fine tune. Okay, guys, so to now just go ahead and go into an analysis of the features and the kind of advantages and disadvantages. The main advantage of using ChatGPT over GPTs is just the versatility and the broadness. With ChatGPT, you can ask like so many different problems. You can ask about a wide variety of things and it will give an answer. Versus GPTs are meant to be more tunneled in. They're meant to be more kind of honed in for one task. Let's say like an assistant on a restaurant website, or being able to create insights based off of a specific knowledge base that was passed in when developing that specific GPT. Right, so GPTs are more kind of very specific, very tunneled in models that are meant to answer questions and answer prompts on one subject, whereas ChatGPT is more versatile, it's more broad, it kind of reaches over kind of basically whatever you want to ask it. You can ask it like literally anything, which is not something I would do with like a specific GPT, for example. Alright, guys, so to now end off with some potential use cases. One thing that ChatGPT is much, much better at in terms of use cases is basically for fine tuning very specific models used at an enterprise scale based on very specific data. To go ahead and fine tune models, you can do that with GPTs, as GPTs is more about output and custom instructions and things like that, versus kind of the fine tuning that you actually can get with just a normal ChatGPT API. One use case for GPTs would be, like I've discussed previously, kind of for mom and pop stores, kind of for online marketplaces, things like that, that just kind of want a nice, chatbot on their website to go ahead and talk with users and want that chatbot to respond in a very specific way that they go ahead and program in, to interact with those users, right? To maybe have higher quality conversations as opposed to things like people in third world countries being paid, very low wages, and then that labor being extremely low quality. You can instead replace that with some pretty high quality responses from something like a custom GPT. Alright, guys, so to conclude the video, we went over everything from GPTs to ChatGPT. Just to summarize what I recommend using GPTs for small to medium sized businesses that are client facing, whereas I recommend ChatGPT for more enterprise scale businesses that need very custom fine tuned and custom integrated models, maybe with an API and things like that. My personal opinion is that honestly, I think we're going to see GPTs much more into the future. I think it's very possible, maybe on 20 to 30% of like client facing businesses, small to medium sized businesses will see, little GPT icons in the corner of the website and be, chatting with custom GPTs a lot of the time. And I do think this may even cause a considerable change in a lot of people's jobs who are contact and talk to businesses, customers from third world countries. Alright, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you have any suggestions for future videos or any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Also, I would suggest subscribing for more AI content into the future. Also, make sure to go ahead and join my Discord server that's linked in the description down below, where we can discuss. If you have any questions, you can talk to the community or talk to me. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.